Um, yeah. All right. Okay. So, because, okay. Um, hmm, hmm. Okay. So, because, okay. So, but, okay. So essentially, because it's like, okay. So, because in the spirit realm, it's like, um, just trying to think. There's like a existential kind of conundrum or something. Uh, anyway, but um, but essentially because okay, so what I've observed, yeah, so what I've observed, and other people have observed this too, but basically hard life experiences um is kind of a catalyst for it's a catalyst for like delving deeper. It's a catalyst for delving deeper into to to discover deeper truth or deeper to discover something to discover deeper truth or deeper reality. I think hard times is kind of um, like definitely what or challenging times I guess is definitely what kind of is a factor that plays into someone delving deeper into those things. So um, yeah, so anyway, so essentially yeah, and like I've observed this in my own life because I had a very hard teenagehood. Um, but anyway, but I was watching a video, a different video, um, and all right, so essentially it was about um, well, anyway, so you can just look them up if you're interested, but um, it's a what's her name? Yeonmi, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Yeonmi Park. But basically, she's a survivor. She was a survivor of North Korean concentration camp. Um, so basically, what I noticed was um, because, and it was quite profound. Um, because I think most people don't most people have not. I think most people don't understand what she understands. Um, because I think really most people haven't experienced what she's experienced in the North Korean concentration camp, so like they don't. I think most people. I think like it's like until you. Um. Well, okay. I guess I'm not. That's not object. And there can be different. People can have different motivations for different things. Um. Or like people can have different motivations. Like I guess it is possible someone can treat life with a lot. It is possible they can treat life with value without actually experiencing like extremely difficult. Like there can be someone that grows up in a good family with supportive parents and that they have a good upbringing and like they can still like even without going through really hard times they can still like um even without going through extremely hard times they can still understand the importance of or like they can understand the importance they can understand the importance or like the um well I think like they can understand the importance of or um of how like good and evil like they can understand the distinction between good and evil and they can um and they can still understand the seriousness of like unconditional love as like the polar opposite of evil and like um I think yeah so someone can still understand that and like not and like still go through life and like operate with like being I think or having some that wisdom and like people can still be wise in life even if they haven't had hard experiences I guess or hard experiences um but I think for a lot of us for a lot of us humans we don't tend to I think for most people we don't tend to we don't really tend to value life like as much or we don't tend to like be good or like with our lives or like we don't intend to like or like understand the value of life um because I think because it's like until it's kind of not until it's taken away but okay like not until it's taken away like I said because again someone can still have life obviously and they can still not be like go through hard times and they can still grow up to be good people but I guess it's like for a lot of us it's like that's not the case usually it's like I think most our tendency is when things are easy then we kind of will and like me as well not just well yeah I mean me as well it's not just um well actually I'm not sure if it was me as well I think probably um um and yeah, I think yeah, probably me as well. Yeah, I think yeah, me as well too. Yeah, I have I've done the same thing. Like where it's like when things get easy, then it's kind of like when things are easy, um then it's you're kind of in a shallow state where you're just not thinking about things carefully and kind of being ignorant and not treating things with as much importance and diligence as you should, as one should. Um, so I've done that too, um, but I suppose um, I suppose like I suppose in a divinity standpoint or like um, so in it, but basically the idea was like she like most and like honestly because like yeah because like right now it's like um well anyway that's besides the point but basically she was exposed to extreme horrific evil in her lifetime obviously so um and it's like because of that like like she's been in like the darkest part of the world like with the most amount of evil and just human like dishonor well just like human destruction I guess was a better way to say it um so and then she escaped the North Korean concentration camp now she's in America um and so so it's like she has she's like seen the reality of the spirit realm or she's like seen like the reality of good versus or good and evil like very clearly and I think that's why she kind of I think has an understanding that I think a lot of people haven't come to because most people haven't had such a hard or like intense experience or like with that much evil where it's like they have the contrast between good and evil that they can like it's like they've been exposed to the worst part of evil in the world and then good so it's like most humans I think or most people aren't able to like because most people haven't experienced that level of evil so it's like they treat evil lightly or it's like because things have just been easier for them then it's like things are just easier so they don't it's like um they don't have such a like a deeper understanding of the difference between good and evil because it's just kind of things haven't been as hard for them I guess so they don't really think deeply and kind of just the selfish nature is like because they don't think deeply and because like the selfish nature is they just kind of it's like what they feel like and if someone doesn't do what they want them to do then it's like they perceive it as a wrong maybe even if it wasn't or maybe it was a wrong but it was just like even if it was a wrong then like instead of then they'll take offense of it instead of just like forgiving them or solving the problem or whatever. Um, and I guess it's like I think because she was exposed to such an extreme level of evil, then it's like because she said in the video, she said like or like she said like if someone asked me like what would I do or what would what would what would I say to the North Koreans if I could like say it to them on um or talk to them on TV or like uh, talk to them. And she said like she'd say I love you, and that's a very profound realization because I think, or that's a profound thing because it's like I think because most people I think wouldn't understand that. but that's the but I think, and that's kind of how I think like she's been opened just through her life experiences. She's kind of been, I mean, I don't know if she like realizes that it's what it is, but she's been open to the reality of Satan, demonic spirits, the evil in the world, to where it's like she sees it's like this, and like, I mean, I don't know if she knows that this is what she sees, but I think she just sees, even if she doesn't know that this is what she sees, but she's just known it just through her natural senses, if not by the Holy Spirit. Not like she can just see that it's like the reason the North Koreans don't love, obviously, at all, is because it's because they don't have any love. Like they don't know any love for themselves. So like they don't, they don't know any love for themselves, and because of that, then because if I hate myself, then obviously if I'm thinking bad about myself, then I'm going to project my bad image of myself into someone else, and because I'm insecure about myself, then I try to mask that or try to like protect myself, um, like they say in psychology, like a defense mechanism by like trying to demean someone else's worth so that I feel better about myself because they're demeaned and like I make them feel as unworthy as I feel myself. And like that's the psychology of it. And so it's like, but if I think good about myself, then I will treat other people the way I think about myself in a good way. So, um, in it. So, but so it's like, and it's I think, and yeah, like she's been exposed to things like getting raped and or she got raped and stuff. So like she just had these experiences of like people using her, like raping her and different things where it's like the selfish thing of like so it's like she didn't know what love was until she was exposed to it when she saw it in human beings like in the US and different countries. She didn't know what it was because if you've never experienced it, you have no idea what it is. And that's kind of that's the reality of it. And like, but it's like that's how like she can clearly see the difference because like she later people that actually loved her truly or people that actually loved her treat her with love, and she understood what it was, and she realized that it's like that wasn't love, that was or like well yeah, I mean it's not love, but it's like I mean it's kind of weird because it's not like you can have a skewed idea of love, but even the skewed idea is still not love. It's like because it's different because it's not actually love, so it's actually not love. It's just this like sickness that like is the conception, but it's just a sickness. Like it's not love, it's just the sickness. Um, it's the conceptual, it's a conception. It's like a okay, well, okay, and but then that begs the question, like, if that's true, then it's not even like, why would it? Because I guess I'm saying like, because I guess what I'm saying is like, it is love. So it's like, it's not, or what I'm saying is like, it's an idea of love that is, or okay, so the okay, to kind of clarify, like it's an idea of love that is perverted. So it's like it's taking the idea of love and it's perverted, so it's not really love because it's perverted. So in reality, it's just sickness, but it's like a sickness that basically has taken the idea of real or the idea of love of what actually love actually is and has perverted it, I guess. So But then I guess that begs the question. It's like, okay, and I guess this is not. Oh well, okay, so this is like theoretical. So it's like if you were in that, this is theoretical. So it's like in that situation, it's like so it's like, but it's like they had to get the idea because like if there was no love, then they wouldn't even be able to conceive of love. So if these people never even heard of love, then they wouldn't even be able to take the idea of love and pervert the idea of love because they've never even heard the idea of love before. So so I think anyway, so I'm not really gonna make any kind of objective statements. I'm just gonna kind of let it just leave that as an open-ended kind of thing, but or an open-ended um, concept for further thought. For further thought. So, um, yeah. So anyway, um, but basically what I'm saying is like she clearly has been exposed to the spirit realm of just the just like basically North Korean people are just completely demon possessed, and like Kim Jong Un is the Antichrist, just like completely demon possessed. So it's like she's kind of seen the contrast clearly. So it's like, and so like because of that, that's why she was able to like understand the profound, or she was able to understand like unconditional love, that like love is something that extends to even to the North Korean people or to North Korean guards and like Kim Jong Un himself, because it's like it is something that it is a truth. Because if it was not truth, then well, because if it wasn't unconditional, then it couldn't be true, and because like if it's not, yeah, but then, and I know I'm right, but then it's like, but then, wow, I know I'm right, but it's like, how would I respond if someone said, but like you can have conditional love and it's still love. Like at a certain point you can't love them anymore, but like you can still have real love if it's but and I think that there is an I mean I have to think about it, but there is definitely an inherent flaw in that reasoning. Or there's definitely an inherent flaw, I believe, in that reasoning. Um, so, anyway, but I guess, um, yeah, but it's like, yeah, so it's just, she was just, yeah, so just the contrast, she's able to like understand the depths of evil and good. So it's like because she was able to understand it to where it's like she understood that it was like they didn't have. So it's like, that it was something that North Koreans are loved, basically, even despite that they're just bunch of demon possessed psychos, essentially. But um, yeah, so it's just that. So that's what I'm saying. It's just that hard times forces someone to um, ponder life. So, and like how they would kind of get to some, you know, profound or truths like that like people that, yeah, just in an easy situation, it's like they just don't really, um, they don't understand the seriousness of it. So they'll kind of just be selfish and like not have love, I guess. But um, but yeah, the other thing is like the meaning of life. It's like, what is the meaning of life? And it's like, and like I ironically, or not ironically, but it's like the meaning of life. It's like I remember when a excessive spirit of it was like a spirit of unworthiness or like spirit of or yeah, there's like a spirit of excessive speaking in me when I was 12 years old. Um, so I had a demon in me. I think it was a spirit of excessive speaking or um, or like a demon of rejection or something. Yeah, a demon of rejection. Like I was trying to get approval from these other kids, the tennis courts. Um, I would play tennis with them and just like annoy the heck out of them by just, well, excessively talking, basically. Um, and like one of the things I would always say over and over again was like I would just go there and just kind of go through the motions with tennis practice, but I was like not even really serious about it. But um, and it was yeah, honestly, it was really a depressing thing. I mean, it was not a pretty thing that happened to me, but it's not a pretty thing. But I would, but it was interesting because like it just or this reminded me of it. It's like I would say like, what is the meaning of life? And I would just say it over and over again, and I wasn't even expecting an answer. Like I was just saying it. Like I wasn't asking to like try to get an answer. I was just saying it, just kind of in my depressing like kind of monologue, and I would just say that over and over again. And so yeah, so I just say that over and over again. But um, yeah. So I think essentially what it comes down to, I think, is like um, well, so yeah. So and like the reason that was because like I didn't like like I didn't have a sense of purpose in life. Like there was a severe missing part. There's like severe emptiness in me that I didn't know. Like um, it's just a severe emptiness in me that like I couldn't explain. That it just is like the sense. Like yeah, I was just like this stupid, worthless, sniveling kid that just like this sniveling kid that just didn't know anything. Um, was the lie that I was blinded to, that I was believed. Or, well, I think I actually believed it. Like, I didn't, yeah, I mean, I didn't not believe it. So, yeah, I did actually believe it. But, um, well, I guess I partly believed it. I didn't totally believe it. I kind of partly believed it, or I mean, I never really totally believed I was worthless. Like, if that was the case, then I might have commit suicide. But like, I mean, I think people that commit suicide, like, they think they're just completely worth like that leads them to that extreme. So I was never at that point. Like I always knew, like I always had a, like I always knew I wasn't worthless, and like there was always a part of me that knew that. So I was never like fully just full on like, just no sense of um worth of myself. Like it was never just completely gone, but it definitely was like to a degree it was taken away there that yeah, there was that spirit of it because I was talking all the time and stuff. So um um so anyway, but um yeah, that was kind of a tangent, but uh I think basically what I was getting at was like um so yeah, so I didn't completely believe it. It was just like kind of a partial. I partly kind of that was kind of what I was thinking, or that was kind of what was in me, partly, which was why that was the case. But it was never. I, eh, but moving on to what I was saying though. Oh yeah, the meaning of life. So I was saying like, what is the meaning of life? So it's like, and in that case, it was um, it's almost like I think the meaning, like when people ask what's the meaning of life, I think it's like, because either you know it or you don't. Like, because it's like, if you're just speculating on what is the meaning of life, then it's like, if you're just speculating on what's the meaning of life, then it's like, how, yeah, it's like, if you're just speculating on it, then it's like, then it's just speculation. And it's like, there's no, like you don't actually know it's the meaning of life. Like you're just speculating, and whatever you say is not the meaning of life necessarily. It's just like a possibility of what it could be, but it's just speculation. So I think people that say, or people that like, I think the question of like what is the meaning of life is like when the meaning of life is not known, I guess. Um, and um, and like because there is a meaning of life and you can know it, like the meaning of life is knowable. It's not just a it's not like just up for individual human interpretation, because like if any of us could just say, well, this is the meaning of life, then like, but then someone could, well, no, but this is the meaning of life, then like, well, but who are you to say that this is the meaning of life and I'm wrong? It's like, you're not, you're just human just like me, so it's like, you know, you, there can be no objective meaning of life when it's just our human conceptions of things. So I think there can only be one true meaning of life. Um, so I think people don't know what that is, and like some people know what that is, but I think a lot of people don't know what that is, and that's why they don't know what it is, and that because they don't know what it is, then um that's why they ask the question. So, but yeah, so I guess it's kind of like there's just this objective meaning, and then people can like just be confused and like not know what it is, and that's why they start questioning, but it's like just a single answer, I guess. Um, so, um, right. yeah, so I suppose, yeah. So, anyway, I suppose, do, yeah, all right. So, but yeah, um, yeah. So I guess that's just kind of what I thought. Trying to think of anything else. Um, and I guess like, I mean, but I guess there's also like, yeah, like I'm not denying what I'm saying or what I just said about the meaning of life. I'm just saying like there can be different categorizations. So it's like, well, so it's like, yes, there's a one objective meaning of life, like, but then there's also different meanings of life that in different aspects where it's like the meaning of life can be depending on the person in certain ways, but like in other ways, it's either the meaning of life or it's not, or it's like it's the meaning of life for everyone, and if they don't have it, then they're dead, basically. Um, so um, and and like the meaning of life is not just natural because there are spiritual realities that occur, and these spiritual realities are like um, anyway, but yeah, but anyway. Yeah, no. Yeah, because I pondered the meaning of life and um yeah, I pondered the meaning of life a lot and it was kind of like not so much recently, but a long time ago or like not a long time ago, but just a few years ago, I was really pondering it a lot because it was like and it had to do more with like not so much the meaning of life, like spiritual things, spiritual matters, but more like motivation and like why do some people do certain things and um like why would some people have certain motivations that would not be the same as others and like just this nature versus nurture kind of like explaining things of like why things were the way they were and um so and I guess like a lot of it was just like me trying to find motivation because I had no motivation and like I was forced to think because I had to think. Like I was forced to think all the time because my brain was damaged to the point that it was forcing my brain, the parts that were damaged were forcing the undamaged parts to think constantly. So I had this like hyper perception of reality. And, anyway, but yeah, so like excessive thinking was like, um, was in ways it was a good thing because it forced me to think deeply about the meaning of life and about things um and like the purpose of life and stuff um so that was a good thing um in it um yeah so um all right yeah So anyway, um, yeah. All right. Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Um, but yeah, and it was really weird. Like, yeah. Um, yeah. But anyway, I guess that's kind of what it comes down to. Um, to do. Um, yeah. So I just can't really remember. Um, what else I was talking about, but yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, um, yeah, but um, yeah. So that's just. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Yeah. Have a blessed day.